and gentlemen, we are back. HGC Korea Crucible time, game number 5. We're going to find out who's going to take the lead in this heated best of 7, where both teams refuse to go down without a fight. First 2 games, Team Trog came out swinging. But now, after 4 games being played, Tetra, I think we can see the experience and the collectedness of the HGC team, pro team GLuck kick in.
Absolutely, they've suddenly started putting on quite the performance, quite the show here, bringing themselves back into this series and, well, evening up the score. As we said, we already know the next map, and it will be the Towers of Doom.
Towers of Doom, that's a larger map that requires a lot of macro, and traditionally speaking, the pro teams are a little bit better at that because they spend much more time playing on a higher level than the open division teams who only have a limited, pool of scrim partners and options and possibilities to play. However, in the case of GLuck, I'm not sure if that's a good thing because they were getting beaten over and over again in the regular season. So I'm not sure how much of a learning experience they were able to accumulate throughout the entire phase. So is Towers of Doom going to be their battleground of victory again, or can the Trogs finally stabilize?
I mean, here's like the main fact we can look at here, and that is the fact that pre today's games, they don't have those updated stats. GLuck only had 1 hero this phase above a 50% win rate, and that was Asmodan at exactly 50% after 2 games. Even heroes they played once, they never had a single hero that they had a 100% win rate with.
Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. Team GLuck is unfortunately one of those members of the bottom tier echelons of HGC. It's a dark chapter, one that you don't necessarily want to be part of. We've had Wukong Gaming in China, as you said earlier. Who was the other team you mentioned? B-Genius in Europe?
B-Genius, Raven, and Wukong Gaming were the ones that didn't won singular games and stuff like that. But yeah, we've never had a team that didn't win a single map.
Yeah. Even Wukong Gaming in China back in the days did.
Even Wukong Gaming. For those who do not know the story of Wukong Gaming, as much as it feels bad to talk, I don't like to talk down on teams, but it looked like a Platinum team playing with Grandmasters. That's what it looked like when Wukong Gaming came to play.
All right, there we go. Let's see what we can expect from this 5th game of this heated series. Towers of Doom, as we said, is our map. The banned maps for the series were Sky Temple and Inferno, so those were going to not bust out. But for the 2 remaining maps, what does it leave us with? What else do we have after this one? Curse Hollow.
We have Braxis.
Braxis and Curse Hollow.
There should be one other. Oh no, wait, it's the 3rd. So it's just those 2 left. So this entire match could come down to Braxis.
I'm praying for Braxis. Hold on right now.
Game 7 on Braxis holdout for your HGC career. Good luck. As we see Medivh banned out, unsurprisingly. And Maiev, Trog seem to be tired of it.
Honestly, I think no matter how this game goes, no matter who takes it, I'm pretty sure we're going to see Braxis next. Because as you said, I don't think anyone would be willing to play a Game 7 on this map.
Yeah, that would be rough. Just mentally, oh god, what's going to happen here? But in this case, not happening. If we're going to see the Tyrande again banned out.
Yeah. Tyrande banned out, just like the Medivh. That's basically the story of this series, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you tuned in a little bit later, Team Trog has a player called Isaac, and that is, without a doubt, one of the scariest Medivh players that the Korean Open Division has to offer. So yeah, they don't want to let it go through, no matter what happens. And so far, it worked out pretty okay for them.
And a Hanzo over a Diablo or anything like that is super risky. But both of these teams, in fact, ignoring tanks in their entirety. Li Ming, who has been a pretty key factor in this entire matchup so far, getting picked up along with Deckard Cain. And there's a Garrosh, again, prioritized over any of the other tanks. They do still get your elbow.
Yeah, Li Ming worked like a charm for Team GLuck, but it didn't work out at all last game for Team Trog, so it's no surprise to see it picked up again by Team GLuck. It's also a really nice statement by Team GLuck to pick it early, because that shuts down the Anubarak. As a result, we saw the Garrosh coming in as a response once again, and I do like this choice. I think Garrosh played pretty well last game, had a couple of sexy taunts and good tosses, so yeah, not hating it at all.
Me neither for the moment, but now with a Junkrat banned out, it was effective, but not game-winning. No, it was. It was on Dragonshire we saw it. So yeah, that was a game-winning game. So GLuck banning it out, very sensible. They don't want that disruption against them. ETC, it was scary in the last game, very sensible.
They think ETC is scarier than Diablo. That's how good
Apparently.
the ETC worked last game, and I don't agree with this choice at all. True, ETC can be a fearsome hero to go up against, especially when the Li Ming had been stolen away and you can't go for Wave of Force to interrupt mosh pits anymore. But there are so many walls on Towers of Doom. There are so many narrow choke points for the Lightning Breath to get value from. I think Diablo is way scarier than ETC.
I think you're right, because immediately GLuck pick it up. They've even got, like you said, the Lightning Breath with the Ace in the Hole. They can go for Phoenix later on if it's not stolen away by Trog. This is a risky move. Zeratul and Karazim, though. Trog, they add some burst, because currently they were lacking a bit.
Yeah, I was going to bring up the point of percentage damage, and maybe a Tychus fitting into this composition very nicely to deal with the Diablo, but they chose a different hero to bring the real damage, to bring the true damage, and that is Karazim, with very likely a 7-sided strike. And Tetcher, you brought this up in the past when we casted China together. Garrosh is good against Diablo because he can toss him and isolate him, and if then a 7-sided strike comes through as a follow-up, the big Demon Lord, the Lord of Terror, is going to melt like butter.
If they can get the angles, because of course they have Blaze now, someone who can absolutely share some of that percentage damage if he can get in the circle as well. Even Raynor can eat a little bit. But of course, more everyone groups up, Garrosh walks in, bring it on! And suddenly everything goes really badly, just because you grouped up to try and spread that 7-sided damage out.
Tetcher, man, who do you think has the better draft? Because I look at the lineup of GLuck, and I'm terrified. Not only because of the Diablo and he's the Lord of Terror, but also they have a top-tier hero on every single position. Whereas if you look at Team Trog, they have good counterpicks in theory, but they have a Zeratul and a Karazim. Those heroes are very hard to execute sometimes.
It is a very interesting lineup, like you said. In terms of just the top picks, GLuck look good, but I believe in counters. There's a reason they are so effective. That variant composition they ran was almost exactly what they needed. And this Zeratul, especially it being played by Angel Wings with now Siceman being on that Hanzo, I'm excited to see how they execute it. I'm going to lean towards the burst setup of Trog for the moment, but GLuck's composition scares me a lot.
Quite similar, actually, to the Volskaya game where you saw this variant and you brought him up there. If Trog, with this composition, if they fall behind, then the scaling and the level disadvantage can be crippling for heroes like Zeratul and Karazim. If they keep even, if they maybe even get an experienced lead, then they have all the weapons they need. So can they stabilize? Can they maintain up the pressure in this early game? Diablo, KCB already with a flank onto Garrosh, gets tossed back into the back lane though. What a heated skirmish already to start this game 5.
They toss Wishing as well. He has to back up so much damage. The damage output from GLuck in this early game easily coming out on top, though, even despite it being so back and forth. You can see the self-sustain that so many of those members of GLuck offer being a bit too much for Trog to deal with.
And look at what this one skirmish in the mid lane did for Team GLuck. They had Diablo and Li Ming completely shutting down the rotations to the bottom lane. They maintained vision and lane control this way. Team GLuck, that is. Strong escape here by Siceman on the Hanzo, jumps over the wall. But yeah, Zeratul is left alone basically against a Raynor. He can't really lane against that very efficiently. But now he's probably going to get some reinforcements here with Isaac and Wishing coming close. But Raynor, man, too good. He knows exactly what's up. And as such, they're going for the mercenary camp instead.
They're going to pick that up pretty quickly unless this invade becomes a thing. Hanzo almost certainly saw this. Garrosh is even going to put on a little bit of pressure. With the Sapper camp still up, KCB has pulled the trigger a little quick here. The question is, how much more can they make out of this? Hanzo looks like he's given up, and it looks like they're just going to let the camp go.
Like, that was just picture-perfect invasion play by Team GLuck, right? Li Ming was shutting down Hanzo. She landed every single ability onto him. He had to flee. The Raynor was zoning out the Zeratul, and Garrosh couldn't even approach his teammates either because Diablo was already so deep in. So that is exactly what we talked about during the draft. The overall more competitive and stronger heroes in every position are with Team GLuck.
Isaac eats a fair amount of damage, but he's able to pull back for the moment, keeps himself alive and safe. He's now got that Indomitable already available. continuing to build stacks of his Warbreaker. It's a slow start to the game. No kills yet. That is the most exciting thing that has happened so far in terms of action. Although the laning setup has been interesting with Zeratul holding the lanes and pushing them up even very aggressively.
Here come the sappers, and they're trying to damage those buildings, and they connect. Tower down, gate down, tower down. Such a nice bonus amount of experience captured by Team GLuck already. And now, with those towers gone, what kind of position can Trog establish themselves with here in the bottom? You see a heavy split on the map. Zeratul might even be helping out the Irel to maybe go for an aggressive invade onto the place in the top half of the map.
Irel's hovering around, looking to probably just go for the one-for-one trade. Question is, what's going to happen bot lane? Angel Wing has taken a fair amount of damage here. Are they just going to go for the gank on Mycen? They revealed themselves, able to scout, so it's just going to be a 2-for-1 hit.
Yeah, and there's nothing that Team Trog can do, and I really think that it goes to show the difference in supporting style, right? Thanks to that strong Decker Kane pick, there's always enough sustain to keep everybody's health bars full, whereas if you look at Team Trog, there's always someone, whether it's Zeratul, whether it's Garrosh, who's running around with 60% health, 50% health, and that prevents them from even making a play happen up to this point, because Karzim is not that strong sustained healer, but guess what he's good at, Tetcher? He's good at taking down people, and that's what they do with this team fight. Decker Kane is no more.
With that, Trog, this, like you said, is exactly what they want to be looking for. These quick pickups, using the burst that Karazim offers them and that Zeratul offers them. They are going for a cleave build, which is interesting, actually, because there are alternates to this build. This is the blind build, of course, in late game, when you're against this kind of composition with, like, Deckard, Diablo, and Blaze all going to be in melee. Then, of course, the Mending Strikes is going to be Shadow Mending is going to be absolutely insane. But until then, there is arguments to be made for the Might of the Nerazim build, where you just go for one-shot blow-ups, which is kind of what this comp is going for.
I like the point that you raised there. Might of the Nerazim is so hard to deal with sometimes, especially when there's a masterful Zeratul player controlling the hero. So going for the more standard route, as you said, but I really like the point that you raised there. They need to force a team fight immediately. The moment that this goes longer, Decker Kane is going to outsustain.
You've seen that video on Reddit, haven't you? Like the guy.
I saw that one. It was so good.
So good. It was. You watch that. Like I've slowly started learning it because it's not even that difficult to learn the combo. It's knowing when to do it and when to give up halfway through because you know you won't get the kill.
Honestly, when I saw that video, and I thought the content creator was skipping frames because it was just so flippy, floppy all over the place.
It is really cool to see. Angel Wing being forced to back up. This Zeratul, of course, is more about the AoE style, but still offers a very large amount of burst and gives him a bit more self-survivability thanks to the wormhole. They're diving in, wishing so far forward, but able to dash away, gets back to his teammate, dropping the quick heal, but Isaac not surviving long enough here. First kill of the fight going over to GLuck, and that's offering reset to Li Ming, but she's running low on mana.
Yeah, and this is the problem of Garrosh with Karzim. There's only one heal, and that's about it. If you had a white main behind you, if you had a Malfurion, for example, those heroes would have been able to keep you alive there. But with one Breath of Heaven and that's it, there is nothing Garrosh can do other than using his self-heal there as well. And Team GLuck notices that immediately when they focus on Garrosh, something that you normally shouldn't really do too much. But they realized, you know what, they only have Karzim, he already blew his powder, so we're going to lock that hero down.
With that, GLuck are going to start grabbing at once again some more mercenaries. Of course, bot lane control of this map is the end-all be-all. So if you're able to take that, you can gain so much value, and this is what they're trying to do. This is why these mercenary camps are basically on cooldown.
All right, man. Team GLuck is looking pretty sharp, looking pretty good in terms of core health, but in terms of experience, actually, Team Trog is doing a mighty good job, you know, keeping up the score relatively closely. They've been having a minor lead, I think. Level 10 is going to hit for both teams at the same time, though. Then we're going to have 7-sided strike, and then things can get really scary for KCP on the Diablo, who's currently having free reign right now.
Yeah, but they're beginning to look for an angle here. KCB takes a little bit
Arrow
of
in the
damage.
bottom.
She's fine for the moment. Dragon Arrow was good onto both of the squishy backliners. Roxa trying to zone away Isaac, but Isaac gets the taunt. Down goes Deckard with the VP on two members, giving them a great opportunity to get Roxa 2, which they do with ease. Now, can they grab Diablo? Isaac chases forward, gets the flip, and the overpower by Diablo gets the counter kill. Beautiful turnaround. and get shut down, Trog. As they are in full retreat, they still get the 2-for-1, but that was a brutal turnaround Lightning Breath.
Lightning Breath into the Disintegrate. Lasers and fire beams everywhere. That was wonderfully done by Team GLuck. As you said, making this a 2-for-1 instead of a 2-for-0. They now don't really have any heroic abilities left, though. Lornado and Bunker excluded because those are a super short cooldown. But the initial engage by Team Trog was also very much well done, with the VP isolating and then getting a couple of kills in return. But now, speaking of team fights and kills, they're not stopping here. Both teams are not backing off that tempo.
Jackpot backs away, keeps himself safe. Angel Wing is 39 seconds out from VP. 7-sided Bunker as they turn it round, trying to get some damage onto Isaac, who is once again pulling back into the fray. Drops Wishing nearer to Sysmab here as they're able to stay alive. Jackpot also pulling back, and another one fight by GLuck.
Oh, the flip is good on Sizeman. Look at Li Ming popping off here as well. And Tetra, that was a really... Oh, Overlord. There we go. Also gets the Altar. They could have probably waited a little bit longer because that bottom Beltar was definitely going to fall.
Yeah. It is weird that they did not wait here, so they're going to be able to take this down. And with that, GLuck take full control. They have a 12 health core lead, they have a bell tower lead, and now they're going for Mercs.
All right, they're going for those mercenaries. Always nice to have this, you know, pincer move where you basically force the attention of the enemy team onto the bottom lane all the time, because otherwise these sappers are going to deal some core damage straight up. But yeah, that was actually really cool to see, right? Similar to a Leoric and Tomb, that Blaze Bunker served as an additional terrain for Diablo to slam people into and get the bonus damage off the Shadow Charge.
And so the Arcane Orb comes out, not landing this time. They're keeping themselves safe for the moment, a Trog, playing far back nearer their wall. Of course, they want to stay safe, but they need to start dealing with this Sapper camp. Urel's already rotated. They need to get XP to keep up in this game. They can't afford to just commit everyone down here. Garrosh doing a pretty good job not doing the classic move of, oops, I accidentally threw one into my base.
That could happen. We've actually seen those kinds of accidents happen in the past as well. In China, we actually had a wave of 4s killing their own team by dropping that one mercenary into the deadline while they were trying to defend, so that was pretty funny. So certain abilities better not to be used on enemy mercenaries on Towers of Doom. Oh, that was a nice lockdown on Overlord. I think that's going to be the kill with Angel Wing and Jackpot.
Body blocks. No one is here to help him. Bunker's dropped. Angel Wing needs to watch his health. He needs to be really careful about this armor juggling. Angel Wing's going to die. Oh, come on, dude. Oh, he gets away. Overlord's giving chase. He wants it. Jackpot's got to get the kill. There's the Avenging Wrath. And oh, come on! He lived! What? And Blaze escaped. Shots come into the core. Trog, this is just a nightmare.
Incredible survival here by the Overlord on Blaze. So well done. And guess what it also did? It bought so much time for Team GLuck to capture the altar in the bottom. 2 heroes were occupied for getting nothing against Blaze, and 5 shots rained down onto the core of Team Trog.
And with that right now, Trog 22 health down on their opponents. GLuck grabbing another mercenary camp. Boss is open. They finally, though, good news, get back that bottom bell tower, which is going to give them a little bit more freedom. They're on even talents as well. This is Trog's chance, but the mercenary camp is already gone.
Wow, Team GLuck is playing this so well right now. They have all the timings on lock here. They clear the mercenaries when it's safe to do so, just before Team Trog comes in there as well. Blaze survives just because, or just before he ends up getting the killing blow there as well. But honestly, even if Overlord had died there, it still would have been worth it. Still would have been tactical feeding, because that Beltar would have gone through anyways. That altar, sorry.
We see currently GLuck just chilling. They know they're ahead. They're happy to wait this out a little bit. They're going to get probably another Sapper camp when they can and try and re-push bot lane once they have a little bit more freedom. All their heroics are back, of course. They are a little bit closer to level 16 than their opponents, but not by much. Trog is actually creeping up in terms of XP quite effectively, but you gotta get some objectives at some point, guys.
It's not going to be a 40-0 here. GLuck had taken a little bit of damage earlier onto the core, but 36 is still a massive lead. Full 7-sided strike, though, reading onto KCB, and Diablo gets popped like a postule there.
And a beautiful Dragon Arrow onto the VP as well, looking for the turnaround jackpot coming in from behind, but the damage output coming in from Overlord actually, turning this round as best he can on Defender, keeps Yarel alive, and looks like
KCB's back.
To deal. Oh no, they forgot about the souls. Iceman dropping low, he's trying to flee, but Roxar almost being the one to fall here, wishing being dropped low. He's able to pick up the kill though, as he's in full retreat. Isaac does not land the Groundbreaker, as we see MSG dying to Angel and he's surviving so long. Isaac gets a clutch last second heal, wishing, escaping as well. Iceman goes down. 2 Bison here who's trying to get the turnaround plays, but he's finally outnumbered. Wishing coming back in for one more time. Turning it round, 7-sided, and KCB goes down.
It's an absolute bloodbath here, Thatcher. Back and forth the team fight went. In the end, though, it's a 5-for-1. I'm going to count Diablo's 2 deaths twice there as well. So a huge chunk of experience going over for Trog. That middle bell tower had already been weakened before, and it falls in unison here. How much can they capitalize on this? They actually wait patiently with the turn in there. Super well done, so they get 5 shots instead of 4. They should maybe think of pushing bottom down a little bit more, because that is usually the highest priority lane here. Boss was definitely too risky. Death time is not long enough for Team GLuck. So Trog finally, with a much needed relieving strike here, finally swinging momentum back in their favor, at least a little bit.
Yeah, but once again, they need more alters. It's all well and good taking over a couple kills here, finally getting a bit of an XP lead, but you've got 10 health on your core, guys. You need to actually kill the enemy core to win the game. But finally, with GLuck being distracted in the mid lane, they've done a little bit more damage to bot lane. Yep. They've got some sappers here. They're going to try and grab bottom bell tower. Of course, the best control point. You can see the extra speed being gained here with that cleansing flame and the Quicksilver toss into Deckard by Deckard. Brutal kill by Trog.
I'm not sure if they did that on purpose. I would love to see a replay on this, but I don't think we have one. But the Dragon's arrow was aimed in a way that Deckard could not escape through the middle, so he had to go to the bottom where he was the perfect target for the Garrosh. They find another kill. That is where Kharazim excels.
Kharazim's level 30, coming up dividends. Quicksilver, the extra 30% move speed onto Isaac. The cleanse as well, keeping him mobile, keeping the team going. This Kharazim is finally working out for Trog.
Yeah, when you have these heated engages, Zeratul dropping down the VP, immediately the follow-up turn-in by Garrosh, tossing someone in the backline. That is where Kharazim shines. The unstoppable mechanics there with that cleansing touch at level 16. That's exactly what you need on those hyper-aggressive heroes. Give Garrosh movement speed, because guess what its greatest weakness is? It is a lack of gap close in teleports. So you give him that cleanse, he's going to be so hard to get rid of. He's going to be sticky. And look at all that knockback and peeling for the backline there.
So we have to talk about those VPs after this fight, because the Dragon Arrow comes in, 7-sided, Overlord dropping low. You don't want to be there, Iceman! The knockback coming in, gorgeous play here. How did he get there? What knocked him? Was that Garrosh? As we see currently Garrosh getting dropped low. Oh, the natural ability. Mistakes were made. Isaac drops down, and a massacre of kills coming in here for GLuck. But Jackpot still gets his team's own side. There's sappers still pushing bot lane. They might make it in. It's close. One left. One left. Raider just too slow.
Just a little bit too slow, but they immediately take that altar as well. Once again, they could have waited. The spell tower, it's already being captured by Raynor. Why do they waste those shots all the time?
4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Boost. Oil. Cleanse. Can't catch him. They don't know where anyone else is. They don't want to take the risk of chasing.
All right.
Nice escape by Overlord.
That it is. Oh man, Tetcher, what a back and forth. Team Trog turns on the heat, only to fall victim to another angry onslaught by Team GLuck. And that Hanzo escape was funny, wasn't it? Right? He jumped over the wall with his natural agility, only to find himself cornered by the port and Li Ming's great range on the beam.
Okay, so while we're in a little bit of a calmer moment while GLuck try and take this down, even though we didn't see it in that fight because it was on cooldown, Angel Wing's Void Prisons have been absolutely mental. They're absolutely mental. He's chasing Roxanne. This is so greedy. They're chasing it down. Dragon Arrow hits nothing. Angel is suddenly completely isolated and in danger, needs a cleansing touch. Not going to get it. Angel instead wishing tackles on. 7-sided onto Diablo, who has to use the Hellgate to escape, but they're diving in. The bunker is down. Can they follow up onto this bunker to get the kills? Roxanne drops low, but he's getting the heals from Decker. King is taken out though. The lightning breath is roasting the members of Trog, but they escape from the fire and turn this round with Siceman picking up kill after kill after kill. It's a massacre, and Gluck get wiped.
They get wiped. A full 5-man team wipe by Team Trog. The question is, Tetra, how much can they do with this? Look at the map. It's currently so much painted red here. 2 bell towers in the bottom are currently still in possession of Team GLuck. If they turn this in right now, it's going to be a measly 3 shots. And they definitely want to get at least 4, ideally even 5, to finally close that gap in terms of core health. Already, the members are trying to siege down those buildings as quickly as they can. And you mentioned it. Angel Wing on the Zeratul. He keeps catching these enemies like Pokemon. He keeps finding them all over the map.
He's doing such a good job. They're going for yet another bell tower. They're going for a triple bell tower cap in this time. They're not going to be able to get top, no way, but they can maybe get bot if Yoro can keep pushing. She's got so long to wait for the next minion wave once this one dies, but the rest of the team might be able to get this. This is so risky because the portal, GLuck can just use the portal. They're going to have to 5v5 again.
All right, there it goes. Down it goes. That bell tower has been delayed for a long time, but it's going to be a mighty barrage here. Team GLuck clinging in there. Only 1 bell tower left. 6 shots going over. 10 HP left on the core of Team GLuck.
That was such a risky move. If GLuck had just all gone through the portal right then, that could have turned into a 5v5 team fight straight away, like instantly. Instead, they decide to play it safe and start burning through the bell towers, playing the long game as opposed to the short game. But man, oh, Myson, you god. But Overlord might not be so lucky. 7-sided, and Bunker keeps him alive, but he is too low. He will get taken out eventually. Second potions keeping him alive for a while. He's actually tanking through this beautifully. Counter arrow just missing.
All right, I don't even know how Blaze is still alive. I don't even know how Diablo is still alive. The portal keeps him alive for now, but he goes down in 2-fold 0. The Trogs are relentless. They're trying to smash down Team GLuck off Towers of Doom.
Sappers, all 3 make it in, and the core health Kendrick, it's evened up at 19 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. Trog have evened up the core health with a 2-level lead.
What are you going to do when the Trogs come for you? They refuse to die. They refuse to go down, especially Angel Wing on that Zeratul. He's playing the game of his life here, consistently hunting down Li Ming in the backline, dropping 1 good VP after the other. I don't know, man. Team GLuck, they're looking broken. They're looking shattered. What can they do? Double altar play. This bottom belter will be recaptured. That is huge. The boss, though, that allows them to win the game by just capturing 1.
That is, you only need 1 altar to win this game now. Trog get this so easily. Now they just have to rotate, focus on top, ignore bot if they have to. They can just put a full 5-man onto 1 area. All heroics are up except for VP and Ardent Defender.
Oh, man.
The heroics are in a much better position.
They found Zeratul. No surprise engage this time. VP's not ready yet.
7-sided damage is split between multiple members. The lightning breath is cancelled, so Diablo can get the armor from the bunker and continue to chase forward, looking for his angle. Dragonor hits absolutely nothing, but in play of the game, gets him to the bottom.
He's on the bottom.
Blaze is chasing him down. Can he get there in time? Blaze will get there for the delay.
He will get there for the delay. The VP is good. What can Zeratul do here? Diablo falls. The bait tank is down. Team GLuck and shatters.
No souls. He doesn't have enough souls. Angel Wing is being forced away, though. They need more members in bot to delay. Overlord gets 1 more delay before his death. But here comes Myson. Resets.
Oh, Jimmy!
Nice being kept away. Broxer picks up the kill.
They get the resets too. Myson is trying the best he can to keep this into control. Jackpot is channeling, and that might be game over. Team Trog has made it.
That is going to be a 3-2 in their favor. They are now 1 game away. Absolutely insane. Amazing turnaround. 1 game away from becoming HGC professional players. This Crucible is on fire.
It is, and now the established team, the pro team that have looked so good in the previous games, they're struggling, they're shaking. Look at the facial expressions here. They are looking unhappy, to say the least, and who could blame them, because that was a masterclass game by Team Trog, falling behind so early, but with that late game power spike, Karazim 13-16, you mentioned it, Tetra, the late game Zeratul, a fearsome foe to go up against. They turned around like it was a piece of cake, but it definitely wasn't.
Absolutely crazy. Now 1 game away, like we say. GLuck, they looked so good for all of that game.
Yeah.
But it only took that little bit of synergy. Second Zeratul came online, second he was getting those VPs down, it only took like 1 chance for them to even up XP, then it took 1 VP again. Those group ups over and over again, allowing Angel Wings to get the money VPs, and then of course, as we already mentioned, the Quicksilver plus Garrosh plays, just gorgeous every single time. And it took that kind of synergy working together to make the plays and get the kills.
And how do you mess with Diablo? You make targets unstoppable, so he can't stun them, so he can't overpower them. Garrosh has his own Indomitable, then Karzim came into effect there as well with a 13-16 Radiant Dash combo. Super cool to see that. And ladies and gentlemen, we mentioned this yesterday, didn't we, Tetcher? When we saw D-Dung play, when we saw Supernova play, there are these star players in every team that we've faced so far to maybe be considered worth picking up. And this time, Angel Wing is a strong candidate, in my opinion.
We were talking about Cyber Sportsman earlier on, but Angel Wing has shown that when it comes down to it, he can be relied on, and that is a huge deal. In this case, just good job, Angel Wings. That Zeratul was absolutely money, really nicely done. We talked about the counterplays, the 7-sided strike.